Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Martin Wenzel. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we're doing World Tour Flight 295. We're in Sri Lanka, Colombo, Sri Lanka. And we're going to be headed up to Pakistan, to Karachi, Pakistan, on board SriLankan Airlines Flight 183. Early start. Wanted to get a sunrise in for our flight, so starting just before the sun comes up, kind of like real life outside my window right now. It's a little different. Alright, so we're going to get things going. Hopefully self-loading cargo works a little bit better. I don't know, maybe the CRJ, the self-loading cargo, the sound effects don't work as well. Yesterday I did 6 hours of flying in the CRJ and self-loading cargo was just blasting. The sound was so loud because it didn't have the muffled cockpit sound. It was really, really frustrating. So we'll see how it works here. If it's too loud, I'll just shut off the sound for self-loading cargo. Anyway, do our safety checks. And I always forget one thing. My paperwork. I always forget at least one thing on these. Alright, not really a checklist. Okay. Alright, engine master switch is off. Ignition selector normal, weather radar off, landing gear down, and wipers both off. Thing gonna focus. Blurry. There we go. Nope. Focusing on. There we go. Alright, so she's powering things up. Alright, aircraft is... They're starting to load, so we're gonna request boarding.
Requested.
I'm out for the walk around.
Alright, fueling.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Hi there, just to let you know that we've started fueling the aircraft. We'll let you know as soon as it's completed. Roger.
Alright, so the boarding process, now that GSX integrates with, or self-loading cargo integrates with GSX, the boarding process actually is better timed. It'll basically take as long as GSX takes to load the plane with the visual with the cargo and with the passengers. Usually, with this cargo, it would take like forever. We'd be waiting on the cargo loading with self-loading cargo, and now it's only like 7 minutes to go, and we're going to still be fueling when they're done loading the cargo. Much less the passengers.
Passengers bus is coming.
Right, well, we should get moving along on our decks here. Crew supply, ground control, CDR test. Nav 1, 3, and 2. Strobe auto, nav logo lights on. Emergency lights armed. No smoking auto. Seatbelts, we'll keep those off until we are fueled. Lead is, or APU is on, external power on, APU pump, engine fire test, engine 2 fire test, no white lights, audio switching is normal, radio panel is set. Yeah, now it sounds like, so it sounds like self-loading cargo works just fine because the music is playing, I can barely hear it, but Yeah, the other yesterday was every flight. The music was just super loud. Remember, I have to call for the power truck. Otherwise, it doesn't show. It just shows the cable.
I'm back.
Used
No
to.
issues on the walk around.
All right. Get some of my performance stuff done in the background.
SriLankan 183, clear to Jinnah via Demo 2 Delta, departure, runway 04, initial climb 4000, then as filed, squawk 6552.
Cleared to Jinnah via Demo 2 Delta, departure, runway 04, initial climb 4000, then as filed, squawk 6552, SriLankan 183.
SriLankan 183, read back correct, report when ready.
Will report when ready, SriLankan 183.
Oh no, it's not going to let me pull it all in. Okay, so I gotta remember with this, I cannot put in that arrival airport. Otherwise, it will force me to do everything manually. Dang it. Crap.
SriLankan 229er, hold position.
Not that I can't do it, I mean, it's just
Hold
annoying.
position, Sri Lanka 229er. SriLankan 123, contact Colombo Tower 118.7.
Hi,
Okay.
the security and safety checks are all done. Are you good to start boarding?
Yes.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, Captain. The terminal staff are ready to send the passengers down.
Passengers
Start
bus is
boarding.
coming.
Yes, you can start boarding if you're
Funny
ready.
how everyone's saying,
No
can we start
worries.
boarding, can we start
I'll
boarding,
get the
but
rest
we're
of the
already
crew
boarding.
organised and we'll make a start in a couple of minutes
Okay, we're gonna
once
do,
the
I guess we have to
passengers
do
start
this manually
arriving from the
because
terminal.
I put in the arrival airport in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
All
Now, for some
stations
reason,
were about
that
to start
works
boarding.
fine on other planes, and I did it yesterday and didn't have this issue. I was still able to just pull in the bin brief plan, so that's really weird. But good practice.
SriLankan 229er, continue taxi.
I'm wondering if maybe the plane, the CRJ, is just so quiet that everything else around it seems louder. Maybe that's what it is too. Who knows? Because today, again, like all the other sounds, even ATC just seems a little quieter compared to what we got coming with the plane. Cost index 24.
Passengers boarding.
So again, if you want to ensure that you can just pull this in from SimBrief, don't put in your arrival airport in the Microsoft Flight Simulator flight planning screen. Just put in where you want to take off from, what gate you want to be at. Otherwise, possibility of it ending up like this, which is a little annoying. Again, not the end of the world. We can do it. All right, zero fuel weight. Right here, 56.6. 32.3 for the center of gravity. Fuel, a little bit more, 9.7. Our wind, average wind component minus 13, so we do have a headwind. Right, flight plan. Oh, Demon. Remember how to do this. It's been so long. Romeo 461 for the airway. We go to Gunham. November 563. KT, Katai. Taking a while to grab those airways too. Quebec 13. Bravo, Bravo, Bravo. Whiskey 1-4. Taxon. November 5/19. Minar. Hey, Misha. How do I just gotta insert. So it's been so long since I've done this manually, but actually, that's the last one we needed anyway. Alright, and we were cleared. Runway 4. Demon 2 Delta departure. Initial climb 4,000. Discontinuity. $4,000. All right, performance page. Calculator, so there's the calculations. This is the big one, really. Flex temp and the flaps. Flaps
Ground to
1.
cockpit. Go ahead.
0.3
Loading has
down.
been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now. We'll contact you for pushback once you're closed up and the
Just
beacon
go.
light is switched on.
I like to just pull up
Roger.
on the plane. You can kind of just match the numbers, see how the numbers are. Transition altitude.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that the aircraft is now fueled as requested. Roger.
Actually, I think that self-loading cargo music is. It's still loud. I think self-loading cargo is still a little loud since the update. Yeah, long flight. Yeah, almost 1,300 miles. So we'll be using some time acceleration because I have to be done by around 9 o'clock. I only got a couple hours. Like about 1.5 hours to get almost 4 hours of flight in. Every time. Alright. Pretty much done here. Now, she doesn't do all these flows. She doesn't do all this. ECAM status page. Pressure page has our landing altitude 100 feet. Switching knobs, all normal. Weather radar is set the way we want it. Thrust levers idle. Engine master switches, ignition in the proper positions, flaps. Ground spoilers retracted. Gravity gear extension stowed. Check the box.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what it is like the CRJ is such a quieter flight deck, just the way the volumes are, that self-loading cargo and my ATC, and I wasn't using FS to crew, but they were all overpowering because they're so much louder, just in relation to the flight deck. Maybe that's what it was, because I can't find any way to tone down the every announcement from self-loading cargo. It was just blasting into the cockpit. Those were just not fun. So we'll figure that out. Gotta figure that out, how that works. Alright, seatbelt signs on. No power's already off. Fuel pumps come on. Before start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
On and auto.
Adheres.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
9,800 kilograms.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Barrel ref.
1009. Set.
1009. Set. Down to the line.
Colombo ground, SriLankan 365 heavy, runway located with Bravo.
Colombo ground, SriLankan 183. Request pushback and startup.
SriLankan 365 heavy, taxi to gate, Bravo 11, via Bravo.
Alright, so we're ready.
Taxi to
Push
gate,
back.
Bravo 11,
Start up
via
and all that
Bravo.
good stuff.
SriLankan 365 heavy. SriLankan 183, pushback and startup approved.
Pushback and startup approved.
Hey guys,
SriLankan
all packs are
183.
on board. Are we clear to close?
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, let me know if you need anything.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Alright. Windows and doors closed. Slides, check arm. Decam door page, checked.
Ladies
Beacon
and
light
gentlemen,
on.
welcome on board this self-loading cargo service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker wheels first.
Yeah, I still think it's
and keep your
louder
small
than it used to
items
be.
under the seat in front of you.
Used to be muffled.
These include
Departure
laptops,
check completed.
handbags,
Bypass
duty-free
pin
and loose
inserted.
items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask
Below
you
the
to
line.
keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board.
Windows and doors.
Your
Closed.
seatbelt can now be fastened
Closed.
ready for departure.
Beacon.
On.
This is a no-smoking
Thrust
service.
levers.
Idle.
Thank you for observing
Parking
this
brake.
policy.
Released.
Before start checklist complete.
Locking gear.
Yeah, that... I'm wondering if I just had self-loading cargo turned down a lot before, because it just seems a lot louder. It's just cutting through. The muffling doesn't seem... I have like the muffling set to 100% so that they... you shouldn't be able to hear them that well, but... we're easily hearing them through the cockpit door. Alright, we are going to be pushing back to the... I guess we only really have one way to go, to the left.
Release
Otherwise,
parking
we're
brakes.
facing the wrong way. We're going to be going over there. What the? Oops.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Starting engine
SriLankan
1.
365 heavy, hold position.
Check.
Hold
Starting
position.
engine 2.
SriLankan 365
Check.
heavy.
Okay, the wrong engine.
SriLankan 365 heavy, continue taxi. Continue taxi. SriLankan 365 heavy. SriLankan 365 heavy, hold position. Hold position. SriLankan 365 heavy.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that everyone's on board.
All right. You can close the doors whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let the crew know that we'll get closed up as soon as we can.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, here's the load sheet from ground. I've reached the passenger counter.
Self-loading cargo was confusing me today. Like, they said all the passengers were
Thanks a lot.
a ton ago, and now they're saying it again, and like, go through close the doors. No.
SriLankan 365
Sounded
heavy,
like this
continue
to me.
taxi.
Please close doors.
Starting engine 1.
Sri Lankan 365
Check.
heavy.
Colombo ground, MH 6 Bandaranaike, heavy. Runway vacated with Rudder.
Really
Go
weird.
ahead. Cabin
Emirates
crew
6
on the
November
door,
Mike
please.
heavy. Taxi to gate.
We're ready
Upgrade
to
via
disconnect.
Bravo.
Thanks very much for your help.
Set parking brakes.
What is self-loading cargo
6
doing?
Bandaranaike, heavy.
They're like, oh, we're ready to disconnect. We disconnected an hour ago. Like all the messaging and stuff going on. It's really weird. Okay. Oh, now SriLankan can't get out or get in. Have to wait for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position, which you must adopt if you hear brace. Brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted,
After start
and the wheel is
checklist.
shown. It must be fastened when the
Anti-ice.
seatbelt signs are on.
Off.
We recommend that you keep it
Ecam
fastened
status.
all the time.
Checked.
If the
Pitch
SFI
trim.
fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen.
Down
Mask over
0.3
your
set.
nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap and pull
Set
on
and
each
checked.
side to adjust. Put on your own mask before
Set
taking others.
and checked.
If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat.
Really don't understand. Set and
Mask
checked.
tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not
Set
inflate
and
inside the
checked.
aircraft.
Rudder
When
trim.
outside,
Hey, Rob
take
Man
the
Radio.
element off. If it fails
0.
to inflate or needs
After
to
start
come up,
checklist
blow
complete.
into the tube. There is
I
a
love how
light
it doesn't
and
recognize the
whistle
word
for
and.
evacuation.
Voice
Wheels are
recognition, I
carried
swear.
aids for children.
How you doing, Rob Man?
Must now be
Thanks
stowed.
for stopping
When
by.
left down,
Just
keep
about to
your
get out of here.
blindfolded and seatbelt fastened.
Do our flight
We
control
wish you a
check.
pleasant flight, and thank you for flying with self-loading cargo.
Flight controls check.
Ready. Full down. Full up. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Rudder.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Pull down. Pull left. Pull right. Neutral. No, it's self-loading, or not self-loading, it's where the heck are we going here? Oh, you know what, we never got our parking brake.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
I like how they disconnected us from it though. Oh, GSX Pro is acting, I mean, usually they don't disconnect until I put the parking brake on, and as you can see, for some reason it disconnected. I am thoroughly confused what's going on in Microsoft Flight Simulator this morning. So usually with the pushback, they'll ask you to set the parking brake. Now, if you don't set the parking brake, nothing will happen.
Unlocking gear.
Now they're unlocking the imaginary gear because we're not actually. I don't know. Everything's kind of being weird this morning. All right. Okay. Whatever. Let's get our taxi clearance.
SriLankan 183.
Get out of here.
Request taxi.
Losing my mind.
Sri Lankan 183, taxi to holding point runway 04.
Tow truck
via
disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Taxi to holding point runway 04 via go.
Left is clear.
SriLankan 183.
Right is clear.
Clear left side.
Clear right side.
Yeah, now the parking brake is on. Why do I need the parking brake on? Now GSX is going to be stupid. Oh, because he hasn't waved at us yet. Thank you. We're gonna go because SriLankan is sitting there waiting to get here into the ramp.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everyone is seated and secured for takeoff.
You can take your seats now. We're almost ready.
No problem. All stations, seats for takeoff, please.
I'll leave. What's the flight time? Like takeoff time or length of time? I think you'll take air time. I think is what do we have? Give me for air time. 3 hours 22 minutes. Now, I'm going to use time acceleration because I don't have 3-4 hours to fly here. Because around 9 o'clock, my son wakes up and my wife has something to do, so I need to be kind of available to wrangle him in, keep him occupied. I mean, I could have the flight flying while I'm doing that, but then the landing is kind of right. You know, then I have to kind of get away to land. Honestly, whichever way I do it, it seems to backfire. It's like, well, maybe I could do this, and then I have it going in the background. I have time to do other things while it's flying. Don't feel so rushed. But then, oh, hey, I gotta go land. Well, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Alright, so we are taxiing. Let's see here. Before takeoff checklist, down to the line.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Check. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Check. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
Set and checked. Set and checked.
V1, 1, 3, 3. VR, 1, 3, 4. V2, 1, 3.
No,
8.
not a real pilot.
Flex temp.
But I do need
7,
to call.
0.
I have
Degrees.
to do that today.
ATC.
I need to call the flight school I want to go to. Start figuring that out. ATC set. Set.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Down to the line.
SriLankan 183, contact Colombo Tower 118.7.
118.7, SriLankan 183.
Yeah, we'll see. I thought I was supposed to turn the lights on. I'm really confused.
Approach path clear of traffic.
Colombo Tower, SriLankan 183, runway 04, ready for departure. SriLankan 183, line up runway 04. Line up runway 04, SriLankan 183.
Below the line.
Take off runway.
04 confirmed.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
PAX.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Ready?
Ready.
SriLankan 183, wind 032 degrees at 5 knots, runway 04, cleared for takeoff. Runway 04, cleared for takeoff, SriLankan 183.
Takeoff.
Check. Thrust set.
taxi all the way to Jinnah? You're taxiing there?
100 knots.
100 knots.
V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Gear up. Who else is talking? Why do I have two people talking now? I swear, there's more and more voices. All these things.
Gear up.
SriLankan 183. Contact Colombo approach 132.4. 132.4. SriLankan 183.
And 500, runway 04. Report established on localizer, Turkish 6284, heavy.
Colombo approach SriLankan 183. Demo 2 Delta. Departure at 1,400. Climbing 4,000.
Packs are on.
Thrust climb.
SriLankan 183. Radar contact. Continue climb 4,000. QNH 1009. Continue climb 4,000. SriLankan 183.
Oh yeah, the Airbus is much easier to control, to lift off. After I did 3 flights in the CRJ yesterday afternoon, and that thing just trying to hold it in a straight line when you're on the ground because it's so light.
Continue approach. Turkish 6284.
I don't know. I feel like
1,000 to go.
Aerosoft, it's modeled so slightly wrong. What is going on here?
Turkish 6284 heavy. Contact Colombo Tower 118.7.
There's a turn right there, but the flight director is not.
118.7. Turkish 6284, heavy.
Alright, flight director is not working correctly on that.
SriLankan 183. Proceed direct Bravo India 900. Then is filed. Proceed direct Bravo India 900. SriLankan 183.
Flap 0.
Speed check.
Alright, we're gonna put the autopilot on.
Check.
And we're gonna go direct.
Check.
Yeah, for some reason the flight director, it got hung
Flap
up on
0.
that last waypoint. So we were supposed to turn, but just extended our yeah, we're supposed to turn a lot earlier on the departure. Yep, it's getting better and better, except for this flickering in these windows. But yeah, it's... You watch some people's videos, especially if they put in different effects and things after the fact. Yeah, you look at it and like, wait, is this real? You can kind of tell. There's always the telltale signs, but if you do it right, you can make it look pretty insane. After takeoff, climb checklist.
Landing gear.
Up.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Packs.
On.
Down to the line.
Alright, so we're at 4,000 feet. Okay. This is going to be a crazy looking path because we went way too far out. We were supposed to kind of turn right away here. Bravo India 900, and we went way down. The plane just, for some reason, didn't want to go to that next waypoint. What did I want to look at? I wanted to look at the chart for this. Yeah, so Bravo India 901, our next waypoint, we need to be below 4,000 feet, at or below 4,000 feet, which we are at 4,000. That's why we haven't been cleared. Actually, we could put the constraints on. You see that. Right there, minus 4,000. Up on there. And then once we pass there, they'll probably clear us up to our cruise. Someone compared an IRL flight to an in-game one with the same plane and time of date, and it was the same down to the shadows crossing over the dashboard. Yeah, like I said, yeah, I've seen some of those where it's like it's pretty close. Again, you can tell the difference because I think, you know, there's the telltale signs of something being made with in a graphics engine versus obviously real life. You know, some of the atmospheric conditions as well, like the coloring, you know, and also the difference between cameras, obviously. You know, again, unless you get the shaders all exactly right and you do all your post-processing to make it. But you could, I mean, if you spent the time, you could probably, you know, do all the little things to make it as close to, you know, just all the colors and everything. Because I tend to notice when they do those side-by-side videos, you can tell which one's real because the real one always has a little bit more of a blue tint, bluish green tint to it, just based on like the kind of camera that's used, the phone, and because they didn't do enough post-processing to just match those colors up, color correcting. Because if you do it, you could probably get it very close, and unless you're really paying attention, you know,
SriLankan
you wouldn't notice.
Contact Colombo Center 124.9. 124.
Obviously, I have a trained eye probably because I fly in here all the time, and so I know like the little things that are
Colombo Center, SriLankan 183, demo
Microsoft Flight
departure
Simulator.
at 4,200.
You know, the clouds. It's like, oh, I can tell those clouds are not exactly real, or
SriLankan 183.
but yeah, it's insane compared to like X-Plane. X-Plane even now.
Maintain 4,000.
Than
SriLankan 183.
X-Plane when I first started flying in flight simulators a couple of years ago.
SriLankan 183. Climb flight level 380.
5 years ago now. Actually been a
Climb
long
flight
time.
level 380. SriLankan 183.
Why is it doing that? Alright. 380. We will push the knob. There we go. It's always a thing with, it's like, am I pushing the knob or pulling the knob? I guess I can watch it. So, because I'm either just going up or down, right? But obviously on the real thing, you're pushing. That'd be cool to have, like, the whole... I see people with the peripherals, they have all these things, they're pushing the real buttons. I'm gonna spend, instead of, you know, my plan is instead of spending, you know, thousands of dollars on little computer goodies to make a cockpit like this, I want to be in the actual cockpit. So I'm gonna spend way more money to do that. But then I make a lot of money too. Actually a job as opposed to, hey, I'm spending all this money for my hobby and then I go to work to pay the hobby. But we'll see. Finally got my, this is what I was waiting on before I went, but it's like I finally got my first class medical certificate from the FAA. I wish I'd started the whole process earlier because now, like, I kind of want to, our plan is kind of now falling that it's like I want to start next summer. But we're looking at flights to go back to China to visit and for my wife and my son to stay over there with her family for a while. And man, I'm looking, it's like the cheapest flights are in January. It's like, oh no. Because that's a little too soon. I mean, we're not gonna be able to turn around and get everything done that we need to do that by January. So hopefully we'll find some I gotta call them, obviously, and see if they even will accept me into their flight school. This is just getting a lot more competitive because there are so many people going to flight schools, and because they used to have a program, or they do have a program where you can go from 0 hours, no flight experience at all, but I've been hearing some rumblings that they'd rather see you have your private pilot's license already, which kind of throws a kink in our plans, because then it's like, okay, now I got to spend money out of my own pocket to start. Money that I've been saving for after training while I'm doing a lower paying flying job, that can kind of make ends meet. But
Cabin crew, you're free to resume duties.
if that's what happens, we'll make that work and
Ladies and gentlemen,
do the private pilot on my own time, I guess, which will be a lot harder because with the flight school I'm looking at, it's ATP. You're basically you're a full-time student, 7 days a week, 24. I mean, it's 24/7. Basically, just on call. Whenever you can fly, you fly. Otherwise, you're studying and all that. But you get done really quick. Save a lot of money. Because you're not taking lessons again and again and again. You're always progressing because you're flying so often. You know, whereas a lot of people, when they go to flight training, get their private pilot's license, it could take them 2-3 years because they just do it on the weekend. They do it once a week, once a month, because those lessons are expensive. But by going to ATP, I can get a loan and do it all really quick. You know, because I think the whole training is almost $100,000, right? Which is what you would pay. You'd pay at least that if you were doing it at your own pace as well. But you'd spread it out over more time. So I think it's $100,000 over like 8-9 months, probably, when it's all said and done. So that's quite a bit of money each month that if I was doing it on my own, I couldn't spend that money unless I had a loan. But the good thing is that it's still that you just need to get, if anything, I would need to get my private license and then do it. And I guess while I'm getting my private, I can still keep making money to pay for that and whatever else. Below the line.
Barrel rest.
Standard set. Standard set.
Standard set. After takeoff, climb checklist complete.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so part of the reason I'm going to do... I know there's voices coming from self-loading cargo, but... Oh, okay, there are people outside my window here. In real life as well, my neighbors. Just as soon as I came back in this part of the plane, I was like, I start hearing not only the voices in the plane, but also the voices outside my window. So this is why I'm going to use time acceleration, because we're going to be flying over... Well, I thought we were going to be flying over a lot of water. Actually, we're not. We're just flying between India and Sri Lanka right now. Then we're going to be flying over the west coast of India for the most part, but we'll do some time acceleration because 3 hours is a lot of time that I don't have. Maybe. We'll see. Kind of my catchphrase. We'll see. We'll see. I'll turn these screens up. Sun has risen. So if you watched my stream, you guys on YouTube haven't been able to see it yet because I was just streaming on Twitch, but yesterday afternoon on Twitch I was streaming A Pilot's Life. Did three legs of Ibex Airlines flying. Flew from Osaka to Fukuoka, up to Sendai, and then Sendai back to Osaka in the CRJ. Next flight on that will be Osaka back to Sendai, and then Sendai, I think, over to Chubu or something. So, enjoyable flying, except for self-loaded cargo was very overpowering. Like the cabin crew, they were just screaming, it sounded like. So I don't know why the audio got all messed up, the volume. But while I was doing that, I was also doing some graphics for my Madden franchise, because the one thing I do is I just try to find more and more crap to do to eat up my time when I should be doing other stuff, probably. And then, like, as we got into the evening, I was reading I constantly have books on constantly checking out books from the library, because I was finding that when I'm at work, I work 12 hours a day, and when I'm at work and I have free time, I'm always just staring at my phone and just scrolling through like YouTube Shorts or Instagram, and I started getting sick of that. It hurt my brain, it hurt my eyes, and so I'm like, I gotta get back into reading, because I used to read all the time, right? Before we had smartphones, what did we do? We'd read a book. And so I read a lot of history books, but then I was at the library and I saw this book. You see it, Star Wars Heir to the Empire. And kind of got a different cover here because this is the 20th anniversary edition, which is pretty cool because, I mean, it came out in 2011, the 20th anniversary one, this version. Which is, I'd be more interested, I'd be interested to see like a 30th anniversary edition now.
SriLankan 183.
Because if you know anything about Star Wars, well, let's see what the ATC is going to give us here, and I'll continue on. Yes, no? Did we switch over? Yeah, we did. But it's not Chennai Center. They gave us the wrong, they gave us the wrong frequency. I'm not getting Chennai Center. I'm getting Sigiriya Tower. Maybe Chennai Radar? I don't know.
Chennai Center, SriLankan 183, Demo 2 Delta, departure at flight level
now it
260.
works. We must have just
flight
been
level
out of range
380.
because it wasn't picking up Chennai Center, it was picking up something else.
SriLankan 183, radar contact. Continue climb flight level 380. Continue climb flight level 380, SriLankan 183.
Alright, so if you know anything about Star Wars, this guy, Timothy Zahn, this was the first book, or kind of the first major book that came out. It came out in 1991, and it kind of restarted like interest in Star Wars, and it started the expanded universe where you had books, comics. Now there were comics and there were a few books before this, but Star Wars was kind of, after Return of the Jedi, 1983, it kind of started fading away. It was still there, but it wasn't this crazy thing it is now. And even during the 90s, what it became after this book came out, Lucasfilm decided, hey, we want to get our book division going. I think they contacted Bantam Books, I think is what it was, and they had to find the right author. They found Timothy Zahn, who was a science fiction author already, and he wrote this book in 1991. Introduced people like Grand Admiral Thrawn, where and we see Thrawn showing up now in the Ahsoka TV series and the Mandalorian, all these properties now. They keep bringing back these characters, and what drives me nuts about that, because if you know anything about Star Wars, what happened was that all these books came out. Heir to the Empire came out, the next one, Dark Force Rising, Last Command. This series came out, and after that, you had books. About 1992-93, other authors started coming in and writing books, and the story just kept progressing with Luke, Han, and Leia. Just kept going forward in time. In this series, Han and Leia have kids. That's when they have their first kids, and it just progresses, and it just exploded. And I read every single book, I think. I read almost every single book as a kid. And in 2014, was it? 2013, 2014, Disney buys Star Wars, and they announced that all of this no longer is, we're getting rid of all this. This isn't going to be part of the story. And that really drove me nuts because I had a lot invested in this, right? For me, Star Wars is this. You know, Star Wars are the books, the comics, the video games like Dark Forces, Jedi Knight, all those that built this story out after Return of the Jedi. You know, so to me, when I watch like The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, that isn't Luke, that isn't Han and Leia, because they had completely different stories in my, you know, when I grew up. And so it's like an alternate universe. It's like Star Trek, almost the same thing. J.J. Abrams, I tell you. But this book is so interesting, and man, just reading it just brings back so many memories. But it's so interesting because on every page, well, let's see if I can find one where it's got somewhere. So, yeah, here you can kind of see on there. Let's see. It's too bright. You can see there's the text of the. It's too bright. I just want to turn off my light. There you go. That's better actually. You can see here it's got obviously the book itself, and then it has like these little notes, which are little things, kind of background from Timothy Zahn and his editor. Things like, you know, where do you get an idea for this? Or a very interesting one is he introduces these characters. They're called the Nogri. So if you know Star Wars, you know the Nogri. They're these alien creatures, and in the story, Darth Vader actually, their planet had been wrecked by the war between the Empire and the Rebels. In fact, I think the Rebels actually caused destruction on the planet, I think is what the story is. And Vader comes and helps them to the point where, you know, maybe with an ulterior motive, because eventually they become these trained assassins for the Empire. But they're super loyal to Darth Vader because of that, because he helped their planet. And in the book then, when their Thrawn tasks them with trying to capture Leia, and eventually they find out, wait, Leia is Darth Vader's daughter, and so now they're loyal to Leia and turn on Thrawn. So, pretty cool. Well, he designs these creatures, and originally he wanted to call them the Sith, because obviously Darth Vader was a Dark Lord of the Sith. We know he's a Dark Lord of the Sith from the movies, but if you watch the original 3 Star Wars movies, we don't learn what a Sith is. That's not really fleshed out. It's just Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith. You know, we're not told that the Emperor is a Sith. We're not told that that's a Jedi, and the opposite of a Jedi. If you read this book, these early books, Darth Vader is just a Dark Jedi. You had Jedi and Dark Jedi. But Lucasfilm said, no, we don't want to use the term Sith because we don't know what Lucas wants to use it for. Obviously, we know that Lucas turned Sith into something more than once the prequels came out. But it's little things like that where, oh yeah, I want to do this, but they said, hey, you can't do that because we're not sure. We want to reserve that for, you know, Lucas might want to do something with that. So, pretty interesting where he gets names from. His reasoning for doing things. Also reading it, just being amazed at how many planets and locations Timothy Zahn added to Star Wars in just this one book. You know, because I grew up playing Star Wars, Dark Forces, Rebellion was a big one, because Rebellion, the whole galactic map with all these planets, and how many of them were named by Timothy Zahn. I mean, including Coruscant, which made it to the movies. And of course, how many of his characters, you know, Thrawn, Mara Jade. You know, a character, Mara Jade, people care, like, oh, who's going to play Mara Jade live action? No one's going to play her. She can't, I mean, Thrawn is already kind of ruined in this new Disney Star Wars, because it's not the same character. It can't be. Thrawn you can kind of work in, because it's not as big, but Mara Jade, how are you going to work her in? I mean, I guess you can, but eventually her her whole story arc is different because she, you know, I guess she could still be intent on trying to kill Luke, but spoiler alert, she can't marry. I mean, the way The Force Awakens and Last Jedi are, it's like, well, Luke isn't married. I mean, I suppose you could work it in there that, I mean, you could have Luke be married, but never have a child, I guess. You could have maybe Ben killed Mara. I mean, which is kind of what happened in the books. You know, Han and Leia's son, Jason, killed his aunt, Mara Jade. So, I suppose you could do that, but yeah. So now I'm on my Star Wars kick, reading the books, and so I'm gonna go to the library today, get the next book in the series. I'm gonna try to find the original versions with the original covers and everything, not the versions they put out now, which maybe either the covers are slightly different or they're the same covers, but they have like Star Wars Legends, because these are not the actual canon story anymore. These are just these legends. It's like, okay. I think it just muddied the waters, in my opinion, because now you'll be going, you know, how many people are going to go, how many kids are going to go to the library, and they're going to pick up a Star Wars book, and especially if it's an older Star Wars book. If it's an older copy, and it doesn't say across the top, like this, even this book, which came out in 2011, doesn't have Legends on it, because Legends wasn't a thing yet. Disney doesn't own it yet. That'd be cool. That's why I want to see a 30th anniversary, because I want to see Timothy Zahn's thoughts on the expanded universe kind of being demoted and cast off to the side, basically as a relic. Because for 20 years, the expanded universe, these authors, Timothy Zahn, Aaron Elston, Kevin Anderson, they carried Star Wars. And especially Timothy Zahn and Kevin Anderson and a few of those, I mean, the early 90s, the mid 90s, I don't know, like, I want to say there probably 12, at least a dozen Star Wars books came out between 1991 and the prequels. And really set it up. I mean, got people excited for Star Wars, kept them excited for Star Wars. Brought it back. Brought it to a new generation. Well, 8 o'clock almost. I got 2.5 hours to go on this flight.
Target 3 Romeo Heavy, descend 8000, QNH1011. Descend 8000, and target 3 Romeo Heavy. Target 3 Romeo Heavy, clear to deep 2 Alpha, arrival, contact Colombo Center, 124.9. Clear India Delta India Bravo 2 Alpha. Arrival 124.9. Qatari 3 Romeo. Heavy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are now free to move around the cabin. However, for your safety, we do recommend that you remain seated with your belt fastened at all times during the flight. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Just checking to see if everything is okay.
Yes, everything is fine. Thanks for asking.
Give me a call if you need anything else. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes we will be serving food. If you could please ensure all aisles are clear and bags are placed in the overhead lockers, that would be much appreciated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to serve our breakfast and lunch menus. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisles. Thank you.
Nikita, thanks for the sub over there on YouTube. Thank you very much. Alright, so you guys notice we're kind of moving a little faster. Plane's kind of bobbing up and down. We're at a 4 times speed. We're going to try to see if we can get landed by 9. Probably not by 9, but maybe 9:30. Part of me does miss the old days of just letting it cruise for 4 hours, but and maybe I'm just putting too much pressure on myself. So maybe I should have tried it today. I almost should have tried it today, but Akshay, hey, how you doing? How are you doing? Well, real time, if you're going in real, or if you're going based on how aggressive that is when we're going at 4 times speed. In our actual time, it was, I think, supposed to be like 3.5 hours. But we're going 4 times speed, so I think it'll probably take us maybe an hour and a half. I'm hoping to do the whole flight. Like I was just saying, it's like I miss the days of just turning, going a flight on and then doing other stuff, but it kind of, now it's hard for me to get in and do the stream and land. Pull myself away from other things if I have other responsibilities I need to do. Like I said, maybe I'm just imposing it on myself. Maybe it's no big deal. I could have it going. I could step away, let the plane fly, and do the other stuff, then come back when I need to. I think today what I'm going to do is once we... Can I please fly Singapore to Newark non-stop, streaming in actual time? Possibly. Probably not, though. I don't know if the problem is streaming, it actually doesn't. I think on Twitch I could. But on YouTube what happens is, and this happened with I did a non-stop from JFK to Beijing. Yeah, I did JFK to Beijing. It took, I think, by the time all was said and done, it took like 17 hours for some reason. Like, I mean, we must have had a headwind or what. It was longer than it was supposed to be flight. And I went back, finished the stream and everything, and went back and noticed if you go to that flight on my YouTube channel, it's only 12 hours long because it stopped streaming after 12 hours. YouTube, you can only stream for 12 hours, I guess, unless you do something, which I don't know. I get deliveries from flightsim.to. Flightsim.to. In the description below, there's links to every to all the, well, most of the mods that I'm using. And so, like if you want to find this exact livery for SriLankan, it's in the description below. If you click on that link, it'll take you to flightsim.to, and you can search for other liveries and all kinds of goodies over there, scenery. That's free. Yeah, all those liveries, all that stuff on flightsim.to are totally free, unless it's a payware airport that's being sold on there. But that will have a big $sign next to it. But otherwise, everything else is free. There's a ton of really good free stuff. Like yesterday, I haven't posted it yet here on YouTube, but I did 3 flights over in Japan in the CRJ for Ibex Airlines for a pilot's life, rear mode. And those are all freeware airports that I'm using there. Yeah, you have to, basically, you're going to have to pay for, yeah, if you want to add on aircraft. There are free aircraft that you can add on. They're not that great. They're usually ports over from, Flight Simulator 10 or whatever, the old version of Flight Simulator. So they don't look that great, or they don't function. There are some, like I said, like this one, the FlyByWire, this is totally free. You just need to have Microsoft Flight Simulator. You might need to, I don't even know if you need to have Deluxe Premium anymore. You might just need Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it builds off of that. There are a few other planned free planes, but I don't know if the A350 is a free one that's going to be coming along. Because I know there's, let's see if I can find a free planes.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. I was wondering if you'd like anything to eat. Anything from the menu, or maybe a snack.
No thanks.
No problem. Do give me a call if you change
I'm sure
your
there
mind,
is.
though.
There's always a way to download stuff for free. There's websites. It's not legal. I'm not going to share the websites on the stream because that would get me in trouble. But you could do a search. You could probably find that. You could probably find versions, cracked versions of it. The problem is, if you download it for free, you're gonna, you run into issues. You're gonna run into issues, and you're not gonna be able to get the fixes and the patches. It's just how it works. So they're out there. They are out there. But there's so much for Microsoft Flight Simulator that is free already that really people could be charging for if they wanted to. I mean, I think with well, I play on PC. Yep, I'm on PC. Yep. I think with it's amazing if you look at some of the products out there, some of the payware products, and then you compare them to some freeware, some stuff that's free that people have created.
Ladies and
it's
gentlemen,
amazing. There are,
take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning
but
selection
there's
of
some
most with massive discounts, some of which are
there's some freeware airports that I think have more detail, are better set up than ones that you pay $10 for.
If you'd like to see any products,
it's kind of hit or miss. I mean, now a lot of those payware ones do put a lot of effort in. There's a lot of goodies, but there are some that it's someone that should have just put it out there airport for free, and they said, no, I'm going to charge $5, $10 for it, and people are going to pay for it. They will. It's just that's the way it is. My specs are in the description below. Here on YouTube. Let's see, what do I got? So I got for my computer, my CPU. I don't have an Insta, I don't think. Yeah, I don't have an Insta right now. Do I? No. At least not that I have set up very well. But I am on Discord. Again, link to the Discord is below in the description. So all the stuff that you would like to know is probably in the description, so check that out. But for my computer, yeah, I have my PC, or my CPU, upgraded that a couple summers ago now. At least a couple summers ago now. Yeah, a couple summers ago. I got the AMD Ryzen 7 5800X 4.8 gigahertz, which is okay, good for gaming, not good for streaming. And then I think last year I upgraded my graphics card to an AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT. That's why I'm able to stream slightly better quality than I was before and have my graphics up more. And then upgrade my RAM to 64 gigs of RAM. That's basically it for, you know, the important stuff of a computer. Obviously I have Microsoft Flight Simulator running on an M2 drive now. Going well. You can see we're going at 4 times speed, time acceleration. Try to get the flight finished sooner rather than later. I think I burned through almost an hour of flight in the last 20 minutes, so that's good. That bodes well. Yeah, I kind of wish I could just set my flight to go for 4 hours and I could go do other things, but especially if you guys are in here and talking, we'll get the flight. But also because, like I said, my son gets up. He's going to be up in a few minutes, probably running in here, causing chaos. My wife has a Bible study with her friends, so once I finish this flight, I'll probably get him all bundled up. We'll go to the library, I think, and like I was blabbing on about before, I'm back into, you know, reading all my history books, but I'm also now getting back into reading my Star Wars books, and I'm basically going to go back and reread all the old Star Wars books. All the old expanded universe Star Wars books, which don't actually have anything to do with the current Star Wars anymore. You know, back when Han, Luke, and Leia were heroes, and they had kids, not just one kid. And his name wasn't Ben, because why would they name their kid Ben? That's Luke's son. But I'm a snob when it comes to that. But yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but yeah, I saw this book at the library, and it's Heir to the Empire, which is like one of the first novels that came out for Star Wars in the early 90s. It kind of really kickstarted the whole, you know, expanded just everything Star Wars media. And this is like the 20th anniversary edition, so it's from 2011. It's got all these little nice notes in it from... Thanks a lot, Akshay. Well, share it, and maybe I'll get more subs. But yeah, this book has like all these little notes on the side. So it's got the writing, it's got the actual book, the novel, but then it's also got notes from the author, you know, explaining how he came up with the names, or how the writing process, you know, back in the early 90s, you know, how did you write a Star Wars book, right? We didn't know a lot. Thanks a lot. Yeah. And well, it's a really cool book. I really be really interesting to see like a 30th. I bet they won't put out a 30th anniversary edition, because I'd love to. I think he said it. I think Timothy Zahn has said it, that, I mean, he said it when George Lucas did the prequels, and it kind of messed up his book a little bit because it changed a few things. Oh, are we over? I think we're over. We'll be over Mumbai right now.
Continue climb flight level 330, Emirates 503 heavy.
Mumbai Center, IFMA 231, at Bravo Oscar Golf Alpha Tango, at flight level 100, descending flight level 90. iFly 231, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 330.
I have to look, but I think this is Mumbai.
Climb and maintain flight level 330, IFMA
Which
231.
we can see actually a little bit more of from this air versus when we were down there. Still got the haze and everything. It's beautiful. Let me just check where this is. No, that's Kochi. Oh wait, no, that is Mumbai. Yeah, look at the wrong path. Yep, Mumbai. We're coming up on Bravo VOR, which is Mumbai Airport. below us. There it is. Depends on the airport. They're, like I said, flightsim.to. Let's pull that up. Get our sim rate going again here. Let me see if I can pull this up without messing things up. Flight sim. So this is my go-to site. I know there is a little bit of controversy with this site, but I haven't found anything better. Just because I guess there's like some of the, I think it has to do with some terms of service. I think people are a little upset about, mostly creators. I don't know. Alright, so this is all the way over there. There we go. So this is flightsim.to right there, that's the website. And you know, it's got news. A little bit of news, mostly just, it's all mod news for the most part. You can see right here. So for example, here's a new freeware, the SCD-30 Pirate Glider. Well, there's a glider you can pick up for free. Right here, Horizon Simulations, the 787-9 and the Kuro 787-8, they've just been updated. Those are two free planes. Now, of course, I think you need to have the Microsoft Flight Simulator Premium Deluxe, or you need to have the Boeing 787-10 that comes with Microsoft Flight Simulator for these to work. But again, these are nice additions that are free. You know, then there's scenery enhancements, and some of these are very little. Some of these are just little basic, you know, cleanups or whatever. Some are full-on cities, photogrammetry. Some are full airports, free. Like I said, there's some really good airports. Like one of my favorite ones that I know is a very good one. Actually, a few. Like right here. Well, this is a free airport. You just download it. That's all you got to do. Download it, put it in your community folder, and you can see it's a pretty. It matches up with real life pretty good. This guy did, and this is all free. You know, so there's the default. That's what it looks like in Microsoft Flight Simulator without the mod. And if you put the mod in, that's what it looks like. You know, it looks way more like the actual airport. So there's stuff like that. Obviously, there's thousands of scenery enhancements, thousands of liveries. I mean, every plane out there, there's free liveries that you can download. Obviously, you need to have the plane. So if it's a plane you don't have, well, then don't download. Like here, I don't have the Pilatus PC-12, but if I did, I could download these liveries for them if I wanted. Different utilities. So there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's also checklists, programs that run outside. You know, some are free, some are not. Most are free on here. I think they're like, here you have premium products. You can go, hey, I want to just see all the premium stuff. And right there, there's all the airports. Most of your premium stuff are either going to be aircraft or airports. And they have lots of sales here. But again, you don't have to buy any airports. You can just go and download. I mean, a lot of places have really good airports and freeware versions. So that's what it is, flightsim.to. So if you're looking for mods, oh yeah, I can show you right now. All right. So yeah, I live in the U.S. I live in the United States. Let me just see how much time we got here. 40. Kind of getting quick on our arrival now. All right, that's what I wanted. All right, so I'll try to do a quick little show on how to do your liveries. Okay, so what you're gonna do, let's say we want a livery. I think I need a FlyByWire A20N. We'll get a livery for this plane. Oh, someone made a new Air Callan one. I don't need that though. Someone's going out here and making some packs. I like it. Let's see what Lufthansa is because we'll fly some of that. Okay, so just, yeah, whoever this is just really into making liveries, I guess. Anyway, I just downloaded that one. I'm getting too bogged down. Let's do Viva because I'll need that at some point. Viva Airbus. Okay, so you pick your livery. So if you're looking for a livery for the, for example, this is for the A20N, which is the plane I'm flying right now, the fly-by-wire A20N mod for the Airbus A320. Make sure you have the right plane. You go, you search for the airline or whatever it is. Here we got Vivo Airbus. Doesn't matter. I just download it. So I click download now. I'm not a robot. Start download. Now I have a download manager, but you can, however you download, it'll download. Put it in a folder. I like to put it here. It's downloading. And pull open folders, downloads. Okay, open that up. You got your zip file. You got your folders. Put up another Explorer, and I'll go to. Now I have a separate folder for my add-ons that you can control with another program that you can make links. Where if you're not doing it that way, and again, I think I have a video on this, but I'll maybe make a video showing how to do this, like a full-on video. Otherwise, you put it in here, Steam. You put it where your game is. So Microsoft Flight Simulator, packages, community. All your mods are going to be in this community folder. And so then you would pull your plane in here, your livery into there, going over. There it is. Now when you start your sim up, you need to do this before you start your sim. Anything you add in right now, it's not going to, while the sim is running, it's not going to be in the sim until you close your simulator, open it, then it'll be there. So this livery will show up next time I open it. I'm not going to put it here because I want it. That is a big file. Holy cow, 2 gigs for a livery. Wow. I'm getting to a point where I'm starting to run out of space on my computer. And look at that. I mean, each livery is 2 gigs. Holy cow. The work I have put into these liveries. My goodness. Yeah, these are some high quality ones. Okay, enough of that. That's just a quick way to do it. Yeah, so I need to make some. That's my next goal. That's my next thing to do is start actually putting together some tutorial videos like that. I always think it's like, well, what I need to do, and I always do this, I need to write it down when I run into a problem I have or a question I have, and then I search and I can't find anything on it. I need to make a video about that. That's how I get more subscribers, actually. Is whatever it is. Whatever it is. I mean, it doesn't even just have to be Microsoft Flight Simulator. Anything it is, where it's like, I don't know how to do this, or I find a tutorial and it doesn't explain it right.
Okay.
I need to make my own
Yes,
video.
everything is fine. Thanks for asking.
Just give me a buzz if you need anything.
Alright, so as you can see, about 30 minutes ago, we had about 2.5 hours to go on this flight. We've since burned 2 hours of this flight in about half an hour. That's called 4x speed. Holy cow, you see how that jumped? It jumped from 26 or 33 minutes remaining to 26 minutes remaining. That's amazing. Yeah, and 737 NG driver, he's the one that convinced me that he put out a video probably a year ago now at this point, talking about how time acceleration is time acceleration realistic? Well, no. Yes and no. No, in the sense that, well, no, in real life you can't accelerate time. It just goes the way time goes. Okay, listen. We just got... come on. Alright. Back to normal speed because we're getting close. Where are we flying to? Where am I going? We're going to Pakistan. Here we go.
SriLankan 183, expect Satna 1, arrival, ILS, Zulu, approach, runway 25 right, report when ready for descent.
Expect Satna 1, arrival, ILS, Zulu, approach, runway 25 right, report when ready for descent, SriLankan 183.
Okay, so I don't know where they're getting the winds because right now, at least currently, the winds are 6-knot tailwind coming down runway 25 right, so it should be the other runway. Now, possibly the weather they have is different. I like how it's Mumbai Center giving us that. Not even Karachi Center. It's weird. Unfortunately, there's no Addis. Oh, 30 minutes, I might be done, unfortunately, for you. But you can always catch, like I said, once the stream is up, just go and replay, and you can replay the landing. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wish I could do this more real time, and then, you could, if it was real time, but we've already got this down pretty low, so we'll see. You might be able to get back in time, but thanks for stopping in. Yeah, check it. If you missed the end, just go back and watch the last few minutes and watch the replay. No big deal. Thanks for the support. Alright, so we got runway 25 right. I don't know why 25 right. Sapna 1 arrival. ILS Zulu approach. Just go final on that. Okay. And we are ready for descent.
SriLankan 183, ready for descent.
SriLankan 183, descend flight level 150.
Descend flight level 150, SriLankan 183.
Let's get this all punched in to the computer first, then we'll start descent. Shouldn't have any problems with that. Alright, so 25 right, Zulu. Sapna 1. just say Sabin, I think it's the same. But no via, no transition, insert. What's going on? Maybe we got doubling up there, right? Yeah. Get rid of a few of these. By Sapna, by Minar, by discontinuity. How did you learn to fly plane?
Sri Lankan 183, proceed direct Sapna.
Proceed direct Sapna, Sri Lankan 183.
I don't know, I'm trying to think how I learned how to fly the planes here, and I'll explain how I learned to fly this one. I watched some videos, learned, figured out the procedures, and then, now it's like I've just been doing it so long. But that's basically it, is kind of trying to find videos of people teaching how to do it in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Barring that, you can try to find some cockpit videos of real-life planes. And I've done that sometimes to see procedures. Okay, how did they actually do it? Like, what are the actual flows? Because sometimes people, even I, do the flows wrong. Not probably the industry standard, but sometimes each airline's different. Yep, tons of tutorials at this point. And the thing is, what's great about it is that you don't need a tutorial specific to Microsoft Flight Simulator always. Especially when it comes to the planes. When it comes to planes, like I said, you could watch a real life cockpit view and just kind of watch what they're doing. Especially if they're doing a tutorial and showing you, but so many streamers. I mean, I know people come in all the time and ask, oh, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? I'm like, well, just watch my stream and watch me do it, and you'll figure it out. And if you have more questions, obviously I can slow down and show you how to do something specific, or say, can you do make a tutorial video of this? And maybe in 100 years I'll make a tutorial video and actually finish it. I've got so much footage just laying around and not edited and finished. Okay, so let's make sure we got this. Okay, we've got our approach information in. We're going to go to the menu, AOC menu, WX, which is weather request. Also going to see if the ADIS is available. Probably isn't, but we'll try to see it. And that's going to be for our performance page. Okay. I think. Yeah, let's start descending. It cleared us to 15,000. Seatbelt signs on. Now, do we have a descent checklist? No. Alright, so it's saying enter destination data. We need to put that in this page right here. So MCDU menu, ATSU, AOC menu, received messages. We got that company message received right there. Check the ADIS first. No ADIS available. MEDAR. Print that out. I'm looking right now. 70 degrees at 6 knots. So we should be coming in runway 7. It's actually perfect wind to come in runway 7. For some reason, they're having us come in with the tailwind. I'm not going to fight it, because the problem is that if we say, hey, now what's really going to take me off is I'm going to come in and start landing, and they're going to be taking planes off the correct direction. That's what's going to take me off the most. Okay, Jinnah, ADIS. We do have the Jinnah ADIS.
Jinnah ADIS information November 0346, wind 069 degrees at 6 knots, visibility 5000 meters, sky condition clear, temperature 22.6, QNH 1015, transition altitude 3000, transition level, flight level 40, landing runway 07 left, departure runway 07 right, advise you have information November.
Okay, so they gave us the clearance. Notice what they cleared us for. They cleared us for 25 right, which is the wrong runway. But if you go to the ADIS, and this is why I wanted to check the ADIS.
20 minutes. In the meantime, I will be instructing the cabin crew to get the cabin ready for our arrival. Once that happens, the seatbelt sign will be illuminated and you will be required to stay seated and secured until after landing. If you need to visit the toilet, it may be worth making your way towards one now. You'll next hear from me after landing, so I will wish you a very good morning once again, and I'll speak to you in a short while.
Okay, so as I was saying, ATC cleared us for runway 25 right. The winds, clearly, it's for runway 7. We should be taking runway 7. The problem is, if ATC has cleared you for 25 right, and you request, now I can request, hey, I want the other direction, but they might be having all the other planes that they're controlling coming in on runway 25. That's why I'm checking the ATIS, because the ATIS is what controls the FS HUD ATC. And the ATIS for Information November is telling us runway 7 left is for landing, departure is runway 7 right. So we're going to request that right now. We'll fix this, and not a big deal. Pretty awesome. So runway 7 left, which is where we should be going. Let's see what approach. I think that's RNAV. So I had this all set up in my charts, and now I have to do it again. Arrival, I think it was mine R2, maybe it doesn't matter. RNAV, I think Mackley would be what we want. Yep, mine R2. And RNAV. Okay, here we go.
SriLankan 183, proceed direct Mike India November Alpha Romeo.
Maybe Karachi Center will actually give us the proper clearance, as opposed to Mumbai telling us what to do.
Proceed direct Mike India November Alpha Romeo 126.5, SriLankan 183.
Fix this.
Karachi Center, SriLankan 183, at flight level 320, descending flight level 150.
SriLankan 183, radar contact, proceed direct Minar, climb flight level 380.
Proceed direct Minar,
and then climb
flight level 380, SriLankan 183.
RNAV 7.
SriLankan 183, expect Minar 2, arrival, Mockley Arnav, approach, runway 07 left, report when ready for descent.
Okay, expect Minar 2, arrival, Mockley Arnav, approach, runway 07 left, report when ready for descent, SriLankan 183.
Mine R2.
SriLankan 183, descend flight level 150.
Descend flight level 150, SriLankan 183.
Mine R. Make sure there's nothing extra kind of. Okay, so I think this intercept, we need to pay attention to that. I think intercept causes an issue. It might be alright. There's Minar. See, we're not on the Minar actual approach, but we're still headed there. I don't know why the line is like that. Right, Minar, Neral. These two are kind of weird waypoints. Delta 075 T. Okay. An eye on all that. Alright, so we're landing runway 07. Transition level is flight level 40, and we'll go to QNH 1015 at that point. Temperature 22, so even the ATIS gave us a lot of the information we need for our performance page as well. Alright, QNH 1015. Temperature 22, that matches with the ATIS as well. Wind 70 at 6 knots, the ATIS is saying 69 at 6 now.
Cleared Minar 2, arrival, SriLankan 183.
Alright, we're cleared for the arrival. Alright, so here's the arrival chart. Mine are 2 runways, 2 left and right arrivals. Okay. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. Why are we on this arrival? It's kind of a weird arrival. But it's what was planned for us before, so it still works. Just have to do this weird approach. Interesting, that does say it's for runways 25 left and right. Airport elevation is 100. That's already automatically in. Transition level here, it says flight level 50. Okay. I wonder what that 40 is coming from. Just looking here, see if there's any. Not seeing any altitude levels assigned. It's just ATC. We're gonna come in, kind of do this loop, and that's where it's a little strange because we could just go to Nomis, right? It's kind of a weird arrival. But, I mean, I guess you could go direct to final. I don't know. Get a little bit of flying in. Go to our approach plate for the RNAV. Runway 07 left. My plan is to call my flight school that I'm looking at today. Hopefully, maybe by the end of the day, I'll be out $3,000 for the deposit. I mean, just so many moving parts with it, you know. All right, final approach course, 74 degrees. We got to be at 1,600 feet at Kilo Charlie 600. Decision altitude is 660, or minimum decision altitude 660. If we miss our approach, we're going to climb straight to Mackley, climbing to 3,000 feet, contact ATC. So you can see the visual of that. Guessing this is city here is what that's showing me. Kind of a weird map like that. Why? Yeah. Pakistan oil refinery. Avoid overflying below 3,000 feet within a radius of 3 nautical miles. So we need to stay above 3,000 feet until Ketit. Max speed 210 knots. Here you see it's flight level 60 at Nomis. Kilo Charlie 602, 2,200 feet. There's that Kilo Charlie 600, which is, I believe, what, 1,600. We need to be there. And continue on in. Naval dockyard as well. Avoid overflying at 3,000 feet. And 660 feet is our minimum there.
Cabin crew, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, like a week ago or whatever, week or two, I checked my email or I checked the website for the FAA, and they had said, oh, I got my medical license or my medical certificate that I need to become an airline pilot. You need a class 1 or whatever, and now it finally came in the mail, so there it is. It looked kind of looks like a bad photocopy though. It's very interesting. It's like, really, this is my medical certificate? It's like blurry, like a very blurry printout. So nothing fancy. I was expecting like a card or something. It's about as fancy as my my medical certificate for my CDL for my truck driving. About the same thing. Here's a little, it's just a piece of paper. Really? I guess I could laminate it. Maybe I can, I mean, I suppose. Yeah, maybe. Looks like you can cut it and fold it. Yeah, probably cut it and fold it and laminate it. Too bad my laminator's in China. Alright, you can see our VNAV. We are 7,700 feet below where the VNAV has us at. That's alright. I'm going to get rid of those two intercept planes, because I think those are going to screw us up. Yeah, there it is. So, ATP flight school. I need to call this number right here. Speak with a friendly ATP admissions advisor. So, choose your starting point. I'm going to be starting with 0 time. Hopefully, again, please note that admission is extremely competitive. Meeting criteria above does not guarantee acceptance. And I'm hearing a lot right now. I've been hearing a little bit rumblings lately that if you have 0 time, it's going to be a little bit harder nowadays, just because there's so much demand. But I'm hoping that because I'm not like I need to come in. I want to start next week, or I want to start at a certain time. I'm like, hey, when can I start? If it's in 6 months, it's in 6 months. If it's in 7 months, it's 7 months. That gives me time to also do my written exams and stuff anyway. But here you go. Admissions will confirm you have at least high school GPA of 3.0 or 2 years of college experience. Well, I have a 4-year degree, so I'm good there. Successfully complete a pre-enrollment interview. This is why I'm like, what is this? What is this interview? I'm a little like, what is that? Successfully complete an admissions flight. Now, I have done a discovery admissions flight, but I did it back in May, so I probably have to go and do another one, which totally fine by me. I think I'd have to pay for it though now. This kind of
Cabin
sucks.
crew, prepare for arrival.
Fine by me. U.S. citizenship, got that 18, yes. Got my first class medical certificate with no limitations except for corrective lenses. Well, I have no limitations. I do have, let me see. Yeah, no limitations. Now I do have like medical things because I do have a little bit of a skin issue, which I don't think is really a big deal, but I guess it's actually a huge deal for the FAA for some reason. More so than like high blood pressure, which is weird. Adherence to height and weight limits. Students taller than 6'3" will be assessed. Well, I'm taller. I'm around 6'3". Depends on the day, I guess. Maybe I think I'm shrinking actually. So, and I was fine in the plane. It was a little tight, but the guy that was I flew with, I mean, he was as tall, if not slightly taller than me. So
no problem.
We were able to get in there. Students weighing more than 250 pounds may be denied training. This isn't you know, size. Literally, the plane, you won't be able to fit in the plane. It's not. I mean, these small planes are small. They just are. I mean, once you get up into this plane, yeah, these are bigger. It's seat adjust. There's a lot more room. Especially the Airbus, because you don't even have the yoke there to run into your knees if you're tall. Adherence to scheduling availability, 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, plus required night flights and time away from the primary training center. So this is a big one, but hey, I'm good on that. My plan is hopefully go to the one that's right here in town. I'm going to tell my boss, you know, once I'm accepted, I'm going to be, hey, I'm going to flight school. I'm going to be, that's it. And if he suggests, hey, you know, you could pick up some hours or whatever, then I'll do that. If that's not going to work, then, you know, I know for sure I'm going to be doing some Grubhub and DoorDash and stuff like that. Make some extra money, because I can't even imagine going 7. I mean, I've been working full time basically since I was in high school. Well, maybe not full time in high school, but I've been working, you know, regular since high school. And then adherence to reasonable commute time.
Roger,
Waukesha,
approach,
we're
SriLankan
there,
183,
one here in Milwaukee is
arrival
like
at flight
15
level
minutes,
170,
so
descending
perfectly
flight
fine.
level 150.
Yeah.
If
If you're a hardworking, ambitious, career-minded individual, I don't know if I'm career-minded.
1,000 to go.
I do want to have a
Continue
career.
descent flight
That's
level
why I want to
60,
get into it.
SriLankan 183.
Just haven't figured out which career it is, right? Like, actual career. Alright, continue descent to 6,000. Let's get that in there before we, what's that? Alright, 6,000. Okay, that's what's going on there. Let's get rid of that. That's kind of screwing things up too. Take Mackley out. This plane's just gonna get confused by it. Why can't I clear? There we go. We'll just go straight to Nomus because this turn is gonna be really tight. Otherwise, actually, maybe it looked a lot closer because I was my range. Oh, you can see our speed coming up. I've never actually noticed the plane doing that before. Okay, pull those speed brakes out. Well, it's funny how we're ahead of it for so long and then we get behind it. And we really need to put those speed. Yeah, we're gonna have a hard time. It seems like it always does this. The Airbus will be behind, and then suddenly, oh, or ahead, and then suddenly you're behind, and now you're going 310, and we can't slow it down. Come on, we gotta cut our speed. Should be able to, I think. Worst case scenario, we just extend the downwind. There we go. Now it's gonna level out. She'll put the landing lights on. Never mind. I was looking, going, why is this so sandy? I forgot we're in Pakistan. I keep forgetting. I love that drone camera. After a while, it just flips completely over. Let's get Sky Dolly going so I can maybe make some shorts of our approach later on. That's another thing I gotta get into, is making some shorts, because I know I've discovered and started watching YouTube channels just because of the shorts they've made, and I know a few other flight channels. They make the nice cool shorts of like landing.
Flight heading 210, SriLankan 183.
SriLankan 183, turn right heading 215.
Right heading 215.
Alright, we're heading to Nomus, our initial approach fix, flight level 60.
SriLankan 183, turn right heading 225.
Right heading 225, SriLankan 183.
I think I mentioned this in the previous stream. I was trying to edit the GSX Pro, the paths for the passengers to get on and off, like the jetways here at this airport. We're going to go to gate 23 where I did edit it. And so what's cool is we're going to see the passengers walking up. So there's the jetway, and then there's like a glass bridge that goes to the terminal. And we'll see them, and they walk perfect in the glass bridge. But once they get to the jetway, they do this weird thing where they hop up on top of the jetway and then go down, or vice versa. As they're going off, they're going to kind of float to the top of the jetway and then go walk properly. And I don't know what that problem is. I can't find an answer to that. So when I find an answer to that, I'm going to make a tutorial for that. Hopefully. Because that drives me nuts. It always happens. I try to do the editing and I can't find any information about it. It's like, How do you solve this problem? Or is this just a problem that exists for me? That's the one part that I always have. It feels like there's always, I run into a problem, I search up and down the internet, can't find anything. It's like, really? No one else on the planet has had this problem? There you go, we got that radar sound again.
To go.
SriLankan 183, fly heading 250.
Fly heading 250, SriLankan 183.
SriLankan 183, continue descent flight level 30.
Continue descent flight level 30,
I remember that.
183.
This restriction is a max speed, so we're going to get below that because we always tend to have problems with our speeds. We're already at 210. Once we get to Ketit, we'll try to get down to like 190 or 180 even. And again, we have haze. I don't know what's with all the haze over cities now. I haven't gone into a city landing without there being haze in a city. Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
Approach checklist.
Briefing.
Confirmed.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Seatbelts.
On.
Barrel ref.
Standard set.
Karachi approach, Okata 866, November Hotel 2 Bravo, arrival at flight level 160.
Set and checked.
Descending flight level 150.
1, 3. Set. Minimum.
SriLankan 183, turn right heading 300.
Right heading
660
300,
feet,
SriLankan
set.
183.
660.
Set.
Engine mode selector.
Continue descent flight
Normal.
level 60.
1000 to go. Approach checklist complete.
Continue descent flight level 60, Okata 866.
Flaps 2.
SriLankan 183, turn right heading 315.
Speed check.
Right heading 315, SriLankan 183.
Flaps 2.
SriLankan 183, continue descent 2,200, QNH 1016.
Continue descent 2,200, SriLankan 183.
SriLankan 183, turn right heading 360.
Right heading 360, SriLankan 183.
SriLankan 183, turn right heading 010.
Right heading 010, SriLankan 183.
Gear down.
SriLankan 183, turn right heading 025.
Right heading 025, SriLankan 183.
2,500.
SriLankan 183, turn right heading
Radar
025.
altimeter alive.
Right
Flaps
heading
3.
045, SriLankan 183.
Speed check. Gear down.
SriLankan
Flaps
183, continue descent 1,600.
Continue descent 1,600, Sri Lankan 183.
Flaps full.
SriLankan
checked.
183, fly heading 045, cleared on nav, approach
Flaps
at
full.
1,600, runway 07 left, report established final track.
Fly heading 045, cleared RNAV, approach at 1,600, runway 07 left, report established final track, Sri Lankan 183.
Landing checklist.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Speed.
Auto brake.
Medium.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist complete.
Sri Lankan 183, established on final track.
SriLankan 183, contact Karachi Tower 118.3.
118.3, Sri Lankan 183. Karachi Tower, Sri Lankan 183, on final, 07 left.
SriLankan 183, wind 069 degrees at 6 knots, cleared to land 07 left.
Cleared to land, 07 left, Sri Lankan 183.
Sync rate.
One thousand. Hundred above. Minimum.
Continue.
Check.
400.
They really had us off to the side there.
Bank.
$50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Spoilers. No reverse
Karachi
engine
ground,
1
Sri
and 2.
Lankan 183, runway vacated with
Decel.
Alpha.
SriLankan 183, continue
70
taxi
knots.
via Alpha.
Continue taxi via Alpha, Sri Lankan 183.
Exit the next taxiway, which is Foxtrot.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls, or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking
Cabin
is not
crew,
permitted
please
until you
disarm
reach a
doors.
designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your self-loading cargo journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our
After
official
landing
Facebook
checklist.
page, Twitter, or the official self-loading cargo app.
Flaps.
Thank you.
Retracted.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
APU.
Start.
Radar.
Off.
Predictive wind shear system.
Off.
After landing checklist complete.
Alright, K23. You're not gonna, like... I like how he says, like, stop! Yeah, we're not even close, dude. Let's get up here, actually. There we go. Alright, parking brake set. APU bleed. Engine master switch is off. Belt signs off. Beacon light off.
Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please
How are we
open the
not
doors when
here?
ready and begin deboarding.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Okay, I guess we stop
Crystal
way out
clear.
here now. How come every time it's like... Okay. That's annoying. Really annoying.
Roger.
'Cause now I bet you the jetway's not going to be able to reach us now. But for some reason, ESX has now put our parking spot way back here. So now I got to go edit that again. But it has no
Ladies and
problem
gentlemen,
actually.
Your portable electronic
Yeah.
devices must not be...
Whatever. Might reach us. I don't think so. Yeah. Not even close. Well. Hopefully maybe the boarding process will be alright. It's GSX is so finicky with trying to edit the spot because if you start here, you start the flight, it has no problem. It's like, yeah, that's where you start. But for some reason at the end of the flight it wants you to end there. So I guess we probably won't see passengers coming off, or if we do, they're going to be floating through space. Services, get the GPU. We are right here with this engine. Parking checklist.
APU bleed.
On.
Engines.
Off.
Seatbelts.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Nav and logo. On.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Parking brake and chocks.
On and in.
Parking checklist complete.
Alright, so usually we have, yeah, so I don't know. I guess I have to edit GSX a little bit more here to make it proper. Amazing. It's just amazing. That's it's one of the payware programs where it's like when it works, it's awesome. When it doesn't work, it's like, okay. Really. Let's check out the flight here on Atlanta. See our route through India. Our approach and our landing, negative 97. These are our real times for the flight. We'll just quick throw in the logbook our sim time so we can get an idea how long this flight actually is. Let's see. 4:16 we landed at the gate at 4:19. Alright, so in sim time, 3 hours 34 minutes for the block and 3 hours and 21 minutes of flight time, which I think, if you look at sim brief, is 1 minute. We saved 1 minute on that flight time, air time, compared to sim brief. Pretty cool. Alright, and distance 1,394 miles. Like I said, nice landing rate, G-force, a little bit under, but not too bad right there. And let's check out the world tour map.
Do you want to deboard crew?
Alright, and today, Pakistan. There it is. Alright, next flight, I believe. I don't know. Let's actually see what it is. Not believe. I know. We are flying to Dubai. So, we've already been there. So, we're going to fly to Dubai. Alright. Well, we'll wrap that all up. Thanks for coming in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're watching on Twitch, give it a follow. And we'll be streaming, not for sure right now, but I'm guessing on the 19th. Tuesday, December 19th, usual time, 7 o'clock. I'll be flying over to Dubai on board Pakistan International Airlines. So, until then, happy flying. Take care.